morning, everybody. Welcome to the Lebanon Senior Center's Charity Program. For all of our virtual friends, we welcome you, and it's such a beautiful morning. Sun's out, it's trying to burn off some of those clouds, but I hear we should enjoy it because I hear we're in for colder weather. Yep, it's true. We'll be dipping down into the 30s and maybe even the 20s later this weekend. So if you get a chance to go out and enjoy some sun today safely, please do so. That cold weather and the rain are coming. All right, if you're outside, definitely make sure to take some deep breaths, get some of that clean, fresh air in. In the meantime, that's what we're going to start with this morning. Deep breath in and out. In and out. And in and out. Oxygen, just enrich your system. Feed all those cells that need oxygen. One more. Good job. All right, let's bring our hands together. We're pushing up. Bringing it back to our chest. Rotating our hands forward. Pushing away. Bringing them back. Going up again. Bring them down again. Push forward. Bring them back. Okay, we're going to go high to the sky. Separate those hands. Bring them back around. Rotating those shoulders. Our hands back together. We're going to push to one side. Start stretching out our wrists and our fingers. And we're going to go back the opposite direction. All right, straight up, we're going to pivot our hands. Our fingers are pointing in opposite directions with our palms together. We're going to slide our fingers down so they're over each other, overlapping, and then bend our fingers and kind of make a link here. Like you're holding your own hand a bit. You're going to pulling at those fingers like you're trying to pull them apart. Don't pull so hard to do. Just add that little bit of tension in there. It's going to pull on across the shoulders, neck, back, forearms a little bit. Keep this deep breathing going. All right, we're going to switch hands. So we're going to put the opposite hand in front and pull again. Sometimes we have a stronger part of our body than the other. All righty. Let's go ahead and bring our hands back down to our side. Let's just ease any tension we have in our shoulders. We're just going to roll them. Yes. Good job. I took my mask off. I think I brushed it across my nose. And my nose itches. All right, we've worked those shoulder rolls forward, backwards, alternated them. Those shoulders are good and loose. Let's go ahead and let our heads fall towards our chest, just letting gravity take hold. Gently stretching out the back of our neck. And when you're ready, you're going to gently roll your head to one side. Gently roll it back again. Connecting your breathing to your movement. So breathe going in one side. Breathe out, going back. When you get to the middle, let's go ahead and stop and lift our heads gently up. We're going to let it fall to one side. Almost like you're trying to lay down on your shoulder. Again, don't try to pull your neck to make it go further, just kind of where gravity gets a hold of you, and that's just as far as it wants to go. If you want a little more resistance, you can put your hand on your head. Just let the weight of your hand, add a little more resistance. Don't be trying to pull. That'll strain muscles in your neck. We don't want to do that. We're trying to nurture the body this morning. Work with it. All right. Head back up to neutral position, of course. If you've got two sides of you, got to do both sides. All right, there you go. So head's going to the opposite shoulder, just relaxing right there. And again, if you like that little extra resistance, you can just set your hand on your head. Alrighty, Rue. I'm going to take that hand off. We're going to sit up. Good job. All right. Let's go ahead and stretch our right arm across our bodies, across our torso here. We're going to use our left hand to hug that elbow in towards ourselves. If you need something to do with this hand that's hanging out here, you can give yourself a big hug. You can pat yourself on the back for coming to an exercise class this morning. So good for you. All right, we'll let that arm come back to our side. Of course, we've done one. I'm going to go to the left. Left arm coming across our torso. Shift with that right arm to hug that elbow into ourselves. Again, you can pat yourself on the back for being here. Give yourself a big hug. You're doing awesome. You are awesome. All right, we'll get that shoulder stretched out. We're going to that arm relaxed to our side just for a brief second, because we're going to do it all over again. We're reaching across our body. This time, instead of going to the opposite shoulder, we're going to the opposite knee and work our way down our trunk here. So right hand, left knee, and you're just going to twist. Try to keep your posture straight. You're just twisting in your middle here. You want a little extra leverage. If you're sitting in a chair with a back, you can hold on to that back and give a little extra twist in there. And relax it back to the front. Once again, do it to one side, gotta do it to the other side. So left hand, right knee this time. And we'll get our twist on. All right. Returning back to the middle. Okay, I'm going to scoot forward in my chair just a little bit. Chairs here at the senior center have this curved down, so it's hard to sit flat. I'm going to forward just a little bit to stretch out our backs just a little bit more. Go ahead and take your palms, rest them on your knees, and you are going to a nice straight back, as straight as you can get it. Then you're going to tilt forward at the hips. I like to turn my elbows out. I don't know why, it just feels better. All right, so we're leaning forward, back's nice and straight. It's hard to imagine if you think about putting your hands at the small of your back, like you're trying to push in on your lower back while you lean forward. And you can go lower a little bit, or you can come back up. Kind of find that magic spot where you feel like it's really getting stretched in that lower back. Sometimes it helps to lift the chin. All right, let's sit back up. All right, we're gonna head down our legs just because we're doing chair exercises doesn't mean the legs aren't involved. I'm gonna stretch my right leg out in front of me. You can have your toes, flexed, or you can have them at a 90-degree angle, whatever feels comfortable for you. And I also like to kind of balance myself on my left leg a little bit, just to give me a little anchor, because we are going to slowly work our way down that right leg, reaching as far as we can go. Maybe you can only get to your knee, maybe it's only the front of your shin, maybe your ankle, maybe you can get all the way down to those toes. Give it a nice stretch and just hold it there. Make sure you can still take that deep breath. When you're ready, take a deep breath and slowly start working your way up. You want to go nice and slow. And when you fold yourself in half like that, get your head lower than your heart, changing your blood pressure a little bit. But it's like putting a kink in the garden hose. So you want to make sure you release that pressure slowly, otherwise you get a little dizzy. All right, so we're going to switch the legs up. So that right leg has come back to our bent position here. And I've stretched out my left leg in front of me. And just like before, when you're ready, we're going to stretch on down there, trying to get to those toes for as far as you can get and hold comfortably. And deep breath. And start working your way down there. And again, take that deep breath and slowly start working your way up. Good job. All right. Brought our knees back to 90 degrees here. And we are going to come up on our toes. I think you can almost see mine on camera, so come up on my toes. Now we're setting them back down. So we're doing some heel lifts. And back down. All right. So a nice steady pace, breathing in and out. In and out. We'll take time, nice and steady and slow, really focusing on those muscles it takes to make your feet lift up off the ground. Maybe as you're doing this, you start squeezing that calf muscle just a little bit when those toes are in the air. And relax it when your heels go back to the floor. Just rock your foot across that floor and up on the toes. Rock it back. All right, let's go one more up on the toes. A nice squeeze, gentle, and down. Perfect. All right, I'm gonna move my feet a couple inches forward where it's comfortable. So my legs are extended, my feet are out a little bit further, so my legs aren't quite at a 90-degree angle. Instead of going up on our toes, we're gonna rock back on our heels. So those toes are reaching for the sky, coming back down. Always connecting that breathing to the movement. Very good. Thank you so much for investing in yourselves today. Every time you exercise, every time you do something that takes care of you, you're investing in yourself. All right, let's curl those toes up to the sky one more time and hold it. Really squeeze back. Think about trying to touch your shin there. And relaxing back to the ground. Good job. All right, we are going to do our bent leg lift to bring our legs back to just about that 90-degree position. And honestly, it kind of looks like we're marching in place. Okay, kind of trying to do high knees here. Okay. Mine don't get very high, so try to outdo me, all right? That's your goal for eventually. If it's not today, you can work up to getting your knees higher than I do. When you're ready though, we're gonna start with my right leg. So right leg up in the air and back down. We gotta do it with the left one too, right? Lift that left leg up and set it back down. And I can definitely get my right leg higher than I can that left leg. It's okay. I haven't given up on my left leg yet. We're just going to keep working on it. Do try to stay in control of your leg as it goes down. I'm not doing it in slow motion. Don't just turn your body over to nature, over to gravity, and let it jerk you back to the ground. Make sure you've got the brake on. Slow that foot down to the ground. The door. I think we're kicking in doors around here. Slow it to the floor. You are in control of that leg. All right. One more on the right. One more on the left. There you go. Good job. All right. Let's bring those feet together. And we're going to relax our knees apart. If you're sitting on the floor doing yoga, might be a butterfly. Just pushing those legs apart. Like that, some members of class who had hip surgery or recovering from hip injury. This can hurt if you have had any of those things. So listen to your body. If it's too much, don't go all the way. Just do what your body says you can. Like kind of a small start. If you can get bigger, definitely do so. Just stretching out the hips and our pelvis here. All right, you bring those knees back together. And as the knees stay together, we're going to move those ankles apart. All right. Reminds me of party games, where you've got to waddle around with an orange, between your knees, or a ball. So think of having a stress ball or a golf ball or something between your knees, and you're trying to hold on to it. So you got to really squeeze your legs together so you don't drop that ball. It's a contest to see who can hold on to it longest. We're not waddling across the room with it. We're just holding on to it. Really focus those quads on really holding things together. Yep, you guessed it. Keep breathing. Multitasking here. Squeeze your thighs and breathe. All right, go ahead and relax those apart. Good job. Hanging in there? Okay. All right, we've got one more leg exercise before we head back up and focus more on our upper half. You want to make sure you're in a nice position on your chair. Sometimes I tend to move forward throughout the leg exercises. Make sure you're in a good balanced spot. All right. We are going to do straight leg lifts. So you saw me just stretch my leg back out here. Instead of us bending over to get to those toes, we're going to be lifting our leg up into the air. But there's a catch. We're going to try not to touch the floor again until we're done with the exercise. That's where the anti-gravity part is. We're going to be resisting gravity on the way up and resisting it on the way down. Because trust me, gravity wants to pull that leg to the ground. So you're trying to keep it up and not let it touch the floor until you're done. Now you might need to take a break or go ahead and stop before we do, and that's okay. But when you're ready, you're gonna lift that leg up into the air. Slowly lower it back toward the ground, but not touching, and then lift it back up again. Down towards the floor. Lift it back up again. And again, listen to your body. You might only be able to get it an inch off the ground. That's perfectly fine. That's where you're at today. You might be able to get a couple inches off the ground. You might be able to get a foot off the ground, like me. You might be able to get higher than a foot. We got some seniors who get it up much higher than I do. I'm pretty sure they used to be gymnasts. But you listen to your body. You're with yourself right now. The best time to listen to your body. You don't have anyone to prove anything to. You're doing awesome because you're trying today. You are working this body so that it'll stick around and help you lead the life that you want to lead, right? It takes work. And of course, I'm breathing in and I'm breathing out. All right, let's do one more up. Holding it there. Ooh, might even throw an ankle roll in there. All right, slowly lowering it back to the ground. Good job. You might need to shake it out a little bit. Sometimes you do that during class. We throw a little dance routine in. All right. But then we're going to put that right leg back in 90-degree angle, and we're going to stretch that left one out. All right. And when you're ready, we're going to repeat that exercise on our left side. Okay, you have toes pointed, or you can have them 90 degree, whatever you feel like. And we're going to lift that leg up, lowering it back toward the ground, and then come up and lift it up and down. Nice, slow process. Oh, got a little excited there, and I went down a little further. I'm moving my chair just a little bit. There we go. You can cheat. You can make the chair do all the work. Just remember, the chair is not the one walking around during the day you are. So, got to find that spot on the chair where you feel your leg doing the work. That's what exercise is. It's just work for the body. And let's go to the ground. Excellent job. You guys are awesome. You're some of the most awesome people I know. I'm pretty sure I know almost everyone that comes and visits us, but if I don't know you, I'm pretty sure you're awesome too. Okay. So we've worked our way, head down to our toes, and all the points in between. So now we're going to work on our chi here a little bit. In chair chi and tai chi, the system believes that our energy comes from our core, from the center of our being. So we represent that by holding our energy in a little ball in our hands. Now, some of us have a little bit of energy, some have a lot. So just find out where you're at today, where it's comfortable for your arms to rest. We're going to hold it in front of ourselves. When you're ready, we're going to start twisting at the waist. One side and then the other. In class, we kind of joke that we're showing off how much energy we have to each other, showing it to the neighbors. This is what I'm bringing to the world today. This is what I've got right now. Just own it. It's yours. When we get to the sides, you start rotating it. So we're going to carry the chi in one hand going one direction. We'll rotate it when we get to the side, carry it back in the opposite hand going the other direction. Connecting the breathing to the movement. All right, as we come to our side this time around, take that top hand. We're going to drop it through, brush across the knees, lift that right hand back up towards the sky, reaching the left hand, arcing overhead, brushing past our right hand and our knees, just see lifting it back up. So we are brushing wild horse's mane. Lifting up a handful of hair, reaching high across, brushing out the long hair. And when we come back to this side, let's go ahead and pause, the hand on top. We're going to sit it back upright, and we're going to pull it away from the other hand. The other hand is going to follow. And we're leading that horse to water. If we're not finding any good watering holes, we need to call on the wind. Maybe to bring some rain. Or if you're an anti-rain person, maybe you're still trying to push those clouds away. I don't know, this is your cloud dance. To be as free form with those arms, just moving. Crazy eights, back and forth. Just moving them around. Bringing them together. Ciao. Give your arms just a little bit of rest for a moment. All right. Trying to keep track of time here. All right. So one of the other things we do like to do in our Chi class here at the center is to tell story with our bodies, with our movements. So we do all kinds of fun things with some of our motions, and it usually ends up in a story where we're walking through an orchard and how we take care of our trees. So we are going to delve into that today. I feel like I haven't done it in a little while. So at some point in the previous lesson, we planted a tree, and that tree has grown big and tall. It's grown big and tall because we take such good care of that tree. You hug it or you rake those leaves in so they compost around the tree. And when it's time, we get to go pick fruit from that tree. This time it's luscious autumn apples. We're going to harvest those apples and we will share with family and friends who in turn have given us a new tree to plant. We'll put that tree in the ground and we will plant it with care and love. So that too will grow big and tall because we take really good care of our orchard and all of our trees. And as that tree grows big and tall, is ready to harvest, we get to go pick juicy peaches. Peach pie, peach cobbler. We share with family and friends who give us another tree to plant in our orchard. They know we have a green thumb. And that tree too also grows big and tall. We are still working so hard to take care of all of them. And we get to go out and pick. Maybe it's not fruit, maybe it's a walnut. There we go. Lots of walnuts. So we have to harvest, and there's so many. We share them with family and friends who say thank you by giving us another tree for the orchard. Maybe it's something they hope will grow and be able to share the fruits and nuts of our labor. And well, behold, it does grow big and tall. We do tend and love and take care of that tree. So we get to go harvest. Ooh, here we go. We're going to harvest some hazelnuts this time, huh? Little birds. And those family and friends are so thankful for our sharing. They give us another tree that we plant so carefully in the ground. But we're going to take care of it over the course of the week, and we'll find out what it grows into next week. Now, we always also like to do a little cool down, a little fun stretch at the very end, just to encourage all the oxygen and the circulation that we got going inside through movement all the way to our skin. So we do it in the form of a massage. And you can do that by kneading, tapping, or rubbing. And we start at our head, and honestly, I like to do a little kneading up top. Need more thoughts, need more brain energy. And I like to kind of rub down my face, especially across these nasal passages and under my eyes. It just feels so good. We come down to the chin and we brush up towards our ear, from the collarbone up our neck to our collarbone. And we do that stretch from the beginning of class. We reach across with our right arm, pull our elbow in. This time you can get back there with your fingers and give your shoulder a little massage. Got any knots back there? And we come down our arm, just gently. And we do it twice. And then we do the opposite. Bring that arm across. Rub those shoulders, that side of the neck, and work our way down our right arm. And up our right arm, and back down. Taking nice deep breaths as we work, coming back to that collarbone, working down to our belly. You know, it's good for my cat, it's good for the dog. They need a little belly rubbing. And we're going to work down our pant leg and back up. And down the outside of the leg, back up the inside of the leg. Maybe taking a moment to rub the knee just a little extra. Bring the right leg back in and stretch out my left. Repeat that process. And maybe taking a little time for the knees. Sit back up again. We're going to close with some deep breathing. We mix our deep breathing out just a little bit. We like to work the lungs as well. Deep breaths certainly do that. But then we do some controlled breathing that I compare to blowing up a balloon and then letting air out of the balloon. And you are the balloon. So do your best to follow along. I'll try to emphasize. I try to do some extra motions with my arms. You don't have to do them. It just helps me kind of emphasize what I'm trying to do with, my lungs, which you can't see. All right, so we're going to start with those whole breaths like we did at the beginning, 3 of them. Really think about filling up your entire abdomen there. All right, this time we're going to blow our lungs up in 3 breaths, okay? Think about it as blowing up a balloon. And then you let it out slowly. One more. All right, so now we're going to reverse that. We're going to take a deep breath in and let it out in 3 increments. Just like a little by little, roll the air out, and then you want to push all of it out that you can. One more. All right, we're going to close with 3 more whole breaths. Last one. All right, we're so glad you could join us today. We hope you have a beautiful, wonderful rest of your day. Stay well, stay healthy. See you later from the Little Bend Senior Center.